that. And of course, it's not ready. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. I'm getting 2 green dots on the thing. So I'm going to just go. This is the Cruiser Chris World Network. We would like to bid you a good afternoon today. And we are going to be doing a live stream today. And this is our first live stream, so bear with us as we're learning. So we hope that you enjoy. Today we are going to be doing a full live stream from beginning to end of our, not end, but beginning to where we are currently of our Johnny story. So this is a self-written story that we are doing here at the Cruiser Chris World Network. And we hope that you enjoy the story. And the story is based on a mixture of true facts and dramatized information for your entertainment. So the story begins like this. All of the names of the story have been changed or edited to protect those involved in the story. So the story begins. Johnny, the Johnny, this is the Johnny Blaisdell story, and it is about a little boy named Johnny Blaisdell, who was born on May 10th, 1986, at Abbott Northwestern Hospital. As a baby, Johnny's mom noticed that Johnny was not meeting Johnny was not hitting his milestones as a normal baby of his age normally does. Therefore, for example, a baby is normally able to set up at 9 months or 7 to 9 months and turn over around that same age. Johnny showed no signs of being able to do any of these things. So at the age of 5 months, Johnny was diagnosed with autism, depression, mild retardation, dyslexia, anxiety, and fetal alcohol syndrome. His mom and dad liked to drink too much and use illegal drugs from time to time. Um, Johnny has 2 siblings. The first is a sister, and her name is Terry. She is 3 years older than Johnny. So at this part of the story, Johnny would be 5, and that would mean that Terry would be 8. Johnny also has a younger brother named Tori, and he was born with anxiety and depression. As well was Terry born with anxiety and depression. But Tori, who is Johnny's younger brother, was born uh, 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 about about a year and a half younger than Johnny is. So He's about 1.5 years younger than Johnny. Tori was born with a very bad anxiety issue at the age of 6. Johnny was approved for 16 hours a week of PCA through Cruiser Chris Home Healthcare LLC. Johnny's mom, Sue, worked 10 of these hours and went through the PCA company called Cruiser Chris Home Healthcare LLC. As I said, Johnny's mom, Sue, worked 10 of these hours, but Johnny's mom and dad wanted to have time for themselves on the weekends, so Johnny's mom asked the PCA company supervisor by the name of Tracy to find a, a PCA to work with Johnny on the weekends. They began a highly involved search for a backup caregiver for Johnny. This took a very long time to do because when you have a person that has the needs that Johnny has, you want to make sure that you find a very specialized caregiver. So Tracy and the staff at Cruiser Chris Home Healthcare LLC worked tirelessly to try to find a PCA for Johnny. This process was finally completed when Tracy called Sue, Johnny's mom, up one day and said, "We have found a PCA for you by the name of Kendra." So Sue agreed to have Kendra come by for an interview on Saturday, April 15th. The interview was to be scheduled at about 11:15 a.m. But Kendra showed up at about 10:45 because she was wanting to make sure that she was there on time and that she left a good impression with Sue. So 11:15 comes around and Sue hears a knock at the door, and Johnny and Sue walk towards the door and open the door, and they meet Kendra. Sue pushed Johnny to introduce himself to Kendra, but Johnny was a little bit shy at the time, being that this was the first time that Johnny was meeting a new PCA other than his mom. So let me give you a little bit about what Kendra's background is. Kendra was an 18-year-old female PCA with bright blonde hair with a little bit of brown highlights in it. She had bright seafoam blue eyes and a very bubbly personality. She was very excited to meet Johnny and look forward to this meeting greatly, and wanted to do whatever she could to make Johnny's life as enjoyable as she could. So she walked in to the house and went to the kitchen, but before she could even take one step in the house, there was a smell of rotten food in the sink, rotten food in the house. So Kendra kind of had an upset stomach or nervous feeling about this and kind of threw up in her mouth a little bit because she was just overcome by the smell. So they proceeded into the dining room, and where Kendra and Sue did the interview. So they talked about basically what Johnny's cares would be and what Kendra would need to do for Johnny to make sure that he was meeting his milestones and stayed on track with his behaviors and stuff like that. Sue then said, I'm going to go out this afternoon for a little bit because I have to run some errands. Kendra said, okay, and they concluded Kendra's first meeting with Sue, and then Sue began to go and get ready to run her errands. Kendra said to Sue, be safe, and we will hope to see you back shortly from the errands. Kendra, however, was under the impression that Johnny's dad was still home. She was unaware that that Sue had left Johnny and the kids alone with Kendra. Johnny wanted to play with his toys and show Kendra some new stuff that he had just gotten from the store. So they began playing with Johnny's toys in the dining room, but Johnny was a little shy, and so he kind of sat under the table as if he was trying to protect himself from something. And then so to engage Johnny a little bit, Kendra went over and grabbed what looked like a toy truck out of the toy box, they had two toy boxes. There was one in Johnny's bedroom and one in the living/dining room area. So Kendra, in order to engage Johnny, who at this point had not seen or said anything to Kendra, wanted to try to get to know Johnny a little bit. So out of the corner of her eye, she saw that Johnny had a box of toys in the dining area. So she grabbed a truck out of the toy box. This irritated Johnny a bit because Johnny felt like that Kendra was invading his personal space. So Johnny leapt out from under the table and said, said that this was a toy from the Transformers called Bumblebee. Now, at this time, Johnny was also ripping the toy out of Kendra's hands. Kendra started to get kind of frustrated and so she went to Johnny and said, Johnny, this is not what we do. When we take the toy out of somebody's hands, we make sure that it is okay to take the toy out of somebody's hands before we do that action. Kendra kind of said this in a soft but stern voice. This kind of made Johnny a little nervous. So because it made Johnny a little nervous, that then Kendra wanted Johnny was a little bit shy again. He reverted back to his shy stage and almost like a stage of nervousness because he was not quite sure if Kendra would do something to hurt him. This was a big concern for Johnny. So because of this, Johnny became very nervous and quiet once again and asked Kendra. Kendra was asking Johnny why he was becoming quiet and nervous and why he jumped back all of a sudden to his previous position under the table. Johnny explained to Kendra that Johnny explained to Kendra that his parents had yelled at him and kind of had been upset with him in the past with things. And part of what they did when they didn't handle their anger very well was to possibly hit him. So that was a concern that Johnny had. Kendra very calmly responded to Johnny's concern by saying that it would not be appropriate for her to engage in that kind of behavior So that would be something that she would not be doing, but that she was here to provide a little bit of stability and um, guidance for him when he started to have little behavioral situations that people uh, uh, that have his kind of condition deal with on from time to time. Shortly after Kendra and Johnny began playing, Tori came into the kitchen and said that he was hungry. The smell in the house was still overcoming Kendra. So Kendra wanted to know if what Tori wanted to have for lunch. And Tori said that he wanted SpaghettiOs. So Kendra went around the kitchen and noticed that there were dishes that were dirty in the sink. There were dishes piled up on the dining room table where Sue and Johnny had met previously. Sue and Johnny had met with Kendra previously to do the introductory meeting. And she went to the fridge because she wanted to get Tori some juice so that he would have something to drink. She opened the fridge and noticed that there was mold on the fridge walls, that there appeared to be mold in the food containers. There was dirty pots and pans in the oven, dirty dishes in the oven that had not been done for weeks. And it was just a house of horrors, so to speak. Everywhere you turned, there was mold in the bathroom. This house was just in such disrepair that Kendra had to just kind of stomach her way through it. It was probably one of the worst cases of neglect that she had ever seen. It was pretty bad. So Kendra asked Tori, because she couldn't find SpaghettiOs, if they could do something like a bowl of cereal. Tori said that would be okay. So Kendra went back and got the cereal, but noticed that in the fridge there was a jug of milk. She opened the jug of milk and noticed that there was not a very good gallon of milk that in the fridge. It had expired 3 weeks ago. So the milk was sour. So Kendra felt really bad for Tori and said to Tori that she was going to get Tori something different. But then Tori kind of started to get frustrated because Tori wanted cereal. So, or basically, Tori just wanted something to eat. So Kendra was a little bit confused and didn't quite know what to do. Should she put water on the cereal just so that it would be moist and be able to go down? Because obviously, because the milk was sour and it had been in there for 3 weeks and it had been exposed to mold and stuff like that, any person in a caregiving situation would not want to put a person at risk for getting any illnesses from the um, from contents in the food or in the fridge. So Tori said that that would be okay to put water on the cereal. And so that's what she did. And she told Tori to go and sit down at the kitchen table and she would have it for him shortly. And oh boy. I wonder if we can just pause it real quick.
We'll end stream.
Okay, guys, this is the Cruiser Chris World Network, and I've read you a little bit of my story for the Johnny story, and this is my first live that I have actually officially done, and I think I did a pretty good job. So I'm just going to not really, I'm just going to end this live and then start a new live and kind of talk to people about um, what I want the channel to be about and upcoming events. But I promise you, I will practice the story because some of this I haven't done in a while. And I want to bring you the best in quality when I do live streams. And if I can get a little personal with you, I have anxiety myself. So this is my first live stream. So I'm kind of trying to work through anxiety a bit myself. So I'm going to work on this and I'm going to practice it. And I will bring it to you in a live stream one day when I have enough of it practiced to remember it. Um, but I feel like that I would be doing a disservice to myself and to you if I continued doing the story without kind of rehearsing it a bit so that I can give you the facts of the story as I had written it prior to this. Um, so I'm just gonna end this one and maybe start another one. And but I can tell you that I'm very happy that all of you turned out today for me, for this being my first live stream. And I'm glad that I was able to bring it to you. And I just want you to know that nobody's perfect, and I will get better at this the more I do it. So I would like to thank those of you who tuned in today. And thank you for watching this live stream, which is my first official live stream of the Cruiser Chris World Network in the history of the Cruiser Chris World Network. I'm very glad that I was able to bring it to you, and I look forward to bringing it to you again very soon in the future. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in to the live stream, and I hope to see you again very soon for the next one. Please look for upcoming videos from the Cruiser Chris World Network. I'm very, very happy to have all of you on the network supporting me, and I look forward to seeing you guys again very soon. If you like what you've seen today, please like, subscribe, and share. Hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring my bell. Select all so that you can be notified when we drop our latest videos on our YouTube channel. Again, I apologize for not being really prepared to do the live stream today, but I will be more prepared in the future. That I can promise you, to do a live stream. So I thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share to show us that you care. This has been a presentation of the Cruiser Chris World Network. Thank you and have a good day, everybody.